Context Elliot, and I'm bringing you guys my MCC 22 predictions. Now, before we get into this, my predictions last time sucked. I had the Blue Blats in 10th, they got first for coins. We're just going to move on from that, and we're going to do better this time. And I've done a little bit more research and put a little more thought into these. Alright? Let's get into this. We're going to go over the teams first, and then we're going to go over my top 10. Alright? That's what you guys are getting. To start off, we have the Pink Parrots, consisting of Purple, Tommy Innit, Captain Sparkles, and Orion Sound. Now, if there's one thing that I was taught from my last predictions video, it was not to underestimate Purple. Purple is already cementing himself as a potential S tier. So, and he's been in 2 events. Imagine when he's actually going try-hard mode, practicing grinding, working with other players. Now, I think this team has some potential. Along Captain Sparkles, however, might put them in 3rd. We'll see. Cyan Coyotes, consisting of Ranboo, CPK, Wilbur, Soot, and Wisp. For starters, Ranboo, great, making himself look like a very formidable member of this tournament. Wisp, I feel like Wisp has had a little bit of an absence. I don't think he's been in a Season 3 event. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Wilbur's doing all right. Wilbur's there to vibe, and CPK is, usually there. He's a good researcher. I think he's coming off of a win in the last event, so I think he's looking to have fun this time. And Cyan Coyotes, definitely going to be good for chemistry. Now we have the Purple Pandas, Puns, Gemini Tay, Shovel, and Cub Fan. All right, now this team. Alright, solid team. Puns is definitely an S tier. I can see this team... I call it a gut feeling, but I can see this team doing well in, Grid Runners and games like that. Maybe not Sands. I know Gem has struggled with Sands in the past. However, we might see... The games still haven't been released at the time of me recording this, so we'll see. Now we have the Orange Ocelots. We have Pizza Hut, Ragai Rocky, Smallish Beans, and Spifey. Last time, Smallish Beans performed really well for he placed significantly higher above his average coins, and definitely boosted his average coins through last event. So I'm looking to see him perhaps perform well. Pete's consistent. He's definitely been he's still very consistent. He's been putting out a consistent level of his performance. You can always expect Pete to be in the top 15, and he's formerly one of the best players in the event. I think he's definitely, he's been, having to put up a bit more of a fight now, because you have a lot more strong players in the event, as opposed to previously, and he's definitely had to get some struggles. But I think coming off of their last event, I think Pete is out for redemption, and Ragai Rocky and Spifey, I think both not too bad players. I think they have potential to actually try in this event, and I'm looking to see where this team ends up. Now we have the AQUA AXOLOTLS. We have H-Bomb, Grian, False Symmetry, and Good Times with Scarf. We see Grian and Scar again. That makes me happy. First off, Sands of Time, they're going to perform well. Scar definitely struggled with Sands of Time in the last event, and I think H is definitely going to be able to put him in his place as the #1 Sands of Time MCC coach. I think he's got a lot of potential there, and he's obviously teamed with Grian, who's going to do nothing but help him, and False, another fellow hermit of his, who is also going to do everything in her power to try and help, coming off of several wins from her. And she's been doing all right the past few events. And H-Bomb also, first 5th-time winner. Sapnap always isn't going to have that on him. However, if Sapnap wins this, it'll be 6th time, and then H-Bomb will be like, damn, Moving on, next team. Lime Llamas, Quig, Smager, Solidarity Gaming, and Pearlescent Moon. I think chemistry-wise, this is going to be a great team to watch. I think Quig is definitely been putting out some good performances in the last few MCCs. I know his Sky Battle performance 2 MCCs ago was very good. That is one thing I can definitely see this team doing well in Sky Battle. Sky Battle's definitely a good one for them. Probably Grid Runners too. I think Grid Runners, maybe even Build Mart. We'll see. We'll have to see where the games stack up. We'll have to see. Now we have the Blue Bats. Blue Bats, solid team. Solid team with Tapple, Tubbo, Snifferish, and Errett. Snifferish coming off of her first event. Tubbo cementing himself as actually a decent player. And Tapple, who I feel like has been sort of... has been on the decline. I think, however, he's going to make that change, though, and especially paired with Tubbo, who they've had some great hit chemistry together, and I think Eric also being a great support player. I think, obviously, potential for there. Now we have the Red Rabbits. Dream, Goggy, Captain Puffy, and Sam. I think solid team right off that bat. You have Dream and Goggy duo, once again. It's not really like a... We all know how that plays out. We all know how Dream and George plays out. We know it usually just goes, George! And Dream's like, I'm working on it! And just leave me alone, I'm colorblind! And, there's that. And then Puffy's just going to be there through it all. And Sam, I think Sam will join in the fun. I think usually when Dream is in an event, he plays to win. So I think there's potential to see this team being a strong contender. And now we have the Yellow YAKS, which I'm pretty sure is the first all-girl team. JoJo Solos, Sylvie, G, Nelly, and Blushy. Blushy in her first Canon event, coming off of her last time and rising. And JoJo Solos, who already has put herself up has a solid player. She's good. And G has, I believe G's done... I remember G practiced really hard for, I believe, MCC 18 it was. Yeah, the Halloween one. And she made it to Dodgebolt, her first event, so I think she's definitely, if she repeats the same thing, I can see this team being very strong. And Sylvie, vet, who obviously likes her cat and is probably going to try. I can see her doing this, especially, I can see chemistry being very good on this team. And let's see here. Green GECKOS. We have Sapnap, Foolish Gamers, Tina Kitten, and Michael McChill. 2 first-time competitors on the same team, along with Sapnap, along with Ace Race hater Michael. I think this team... Sapnap is definitely going to carry. I think that's no surprise. I haven't really seen Foolish as much of a player, but you never know. Maybe he'll actually perform really well, and I can see Tina also doing decent. I can actually see this doing decent, namely due to Sapnap. I think Michael's a show up and have fun guy. I think he's not really, in it for the win anymore. He's very self-aware with his, skill level and plays with that, and I think it's very fun to watch Michael in MCC, so this team can definitely be fun to watch. Now moving on, 10th place team. Hate to say it, but it's the AQUA AXOLOTLS. Lowest statistically, probably. Scar is definitely not the strongest player in the world. However, I still think this team is going to be great to watch. Now we have the Blue Bats. Again, I don't believe this team can do too well. I can maybe see this team doing well, and to get to the other side, I can see them struggling in team games like Build Mart and maybe Grid Runners. Maybe even Sands of Time too, probably. Which is why I have them in 9th. And Cyan Coyotes, 8th. Solid vibe team. I don't think they're... This isn't really a team to complain about their placement. So I think 8th is a good place to put them. And you never know, maybe Ranboo will pop off because he's been cementing himself as a strong player in this event. And we'll see this where this ends up, And the Orange Ocelots in 7th. I think this is a really solid team. I think you have a good 3 all-rounders, and you have Pizza Hut, who's also Mr. Consistent. So, until I believe MCC 16 had never placed below the top 5 in an event where he stayed the entire thing of, because in MCC 15 he had to drop out early because of bad Wi-Fi. I remember things. And I see this team getting 7th. I can see them being solid, and I can see them, like, the way I see them, I can see them performing decently in every game. I don't really see many games they would do particularly bad at. I think they're very middle of the road in most games, which I think will put them down in 7th. And we have the Purple Pandas. I think this team relies a lot on Puns, on who is obviously a very skilled player. And yeah, I think I would like to see where this team lands in the scale. This is the team I have in 6th place. Again, I feel like they'd be fairly middle of the road. I can see there might be a couple games they might struggle in, like PV Battle Box. I can see this team struggling, but you never. And I feel like when that weight is all put on Puns, I feel like that's when he tends to struggle. Moving on, we have the Line Llamas in 5th place. I think this was a good placement for them. I think Quig is going to do really well. I think Scott is going, as the event organizer, is going to be well educated. And I think Timmy is going to want to redeem himself after his previous placement in his last event. And I think I do. And Sky Battle is definitely this team's best game. And Pearl's also a decent player, so I can see this team doing solid. I think Pearl's a good player who can rise and meet her part. So I think there you go. In 4th place, we have the Green Geckos. Now, I am afraid I underestimated Sapnap. And I'm afraid of underestimating Sapnap, but 4th is the highest I can go. I think Sapnap is going to pop off. I would be shocked if Sapnap placed below top 5. I think his score is going to be very high, and it's going to land this team in 4th place at the highest. Moving on. The Red Rabbits in 3rd. We have Dream, George Not Found, Captain Puffy, and Sam. I think this team could potentially do really well in PvP-based games, and I can see them also doing well and to get to the other side in the Sands of Time. So, and there isn't really a game I can see them struggling in besides Build Mart. Maybe Ace Race on some people, but Dream and George I think will do fine. It depends really how Captain Puffy and Sam do, and let's move on and see the Yellow Yaks I have in 2nd. I believe Blushy is a strong player. She won her first event in Rising. I know the standards in that were a little different. Not that that's a thing, but you weren't competing against some of the elites in the industry in that event. JoJo Solos, Sylvie, and G-Nelly. I think it's all a team. I think G could do really well. Not only that it's her first event, but I think she's willing to practice again really, really well. I think JoJo is obviously going to cement herself as a very strong player. And now we have my 1st place team. Pink Parrots. I'm going to be real. 90% of this is because I got Purple. I significantly underestimated Purple. In the last event. So, I was not expecting his team to do as well as they did at all last event. But, because last time Purple had Tubbo and 2 other players who I can't name off the top of my head, and this time he has Tommy of the duo. So, I believe that he might be able to carry Captain Sparkles to his first win. It depends on Dodgeball, though. So we'll have to see. And we'll have to wait for the event. This Saturday, May 28th. Now, that's my predictions. That's my reaction to the teams. I tried to keep it as civil as I could. Not that there was anything there, but that's pretty much it. Peace out, fam.